welcome to Talk of the Town, and all of my, except for David Gallerati, all of my sponsors are here tonight. But,
Jeff Cohen.
Oh, Jeff Cohen. I'm just being a little funny. Don't be so serious. So,
Jeff, you're not a sponsor
You with a
anymore.
funny hat.
yeah. So, I mean, we're not going to get into sponsors, although that I have one of my best sponsors sitting right next to me and one right across from me.
That's me.
And by the way, I want to mention that at Dick Quintal's Farmers Market on Saturday, the person who has the best, ugliest sweater will get $100. So his farmer's market on Saturday is 9 to 5. Go in with your most ugliest Christmas sweater, and you might win $100. And
Or a couple bananas.
couple of bananas
Second place.
Some Testies.
and a pineapple. Okay, and the pineapples is
How
fruit.
about some kumquats?
You can tell, and nobody's been drinking. Okay. We have here Dick Quintal, former selectman, wonderful guy. I love him dearly. Andrew Buteri, love him too.
Peace out.
Yep. These are some of the amigos that you're going to see. They're all amigos. We have here dear friend over there, Wrestling Brewster and Steve Lyden. And
That's me.
all good friends sitting here tonight. And we're going to talk about Christmas and other things, and you know you can call in 830-3971-508, and you can text Kenny. I don't know if he puts up his text number on the screen. Tell it. Text Ken 781-361-0749. 781-361-0749. You can text them. Now, thanks guys for coming.
You're very welcome.
Oh, you know, it's not easy. Here it is just before Christmas, and you came, you made it, and I so much appreciate it.
Well, yesterday was my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
30 years old with 29 years old.
That the other way, or
Whatever way you want to go. At this point, anyways, fine.
Oh, that's wonderful,
So I've
Andrew.
always, I've got
Happy
a December
birthday.
19th baby, and every Christmas I get ripped off and get that one present that says this covers your birthday and Christmas.
Oh.
So I've had some issues.
You know
You've got
whose
some
birthday it was this past week too? John Moody's.
Oh,
So, you know, there were a lot of
Michelle
birthdays that
Pecoraro's.
we know.
Yep,
When's
Michelle and I
your-
are on the same.
When's your birthday?
September
What?
8th, Labor
Mine-
Day.
Mine's October 8th.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah. But we're nothing alike.
What about you?
Can anybody call in and give us your birthday? Doesn't matter when you were born, just come on, bring it on.
Yeah, come on, Dave Gallerati. When's your birthday, Dave Gallerati?
yeah, come on, Dave.
Let's start this way. And we'll start with Stevie. Stevie, we're
Little
going to
Stevie
start
Lyden.
with talking about a little bit about what it was like growing up in your household at Christmas time as a little kid.
Well, my father would pack us all in the car. We'd all go by a Christmas tree, and that was a big deal. And you know, you come home, you decorate the tree, and it was good because we lived in a neighborhood where everybody's house was open to everybody, and people would drop in and drop out, and it was just a great time. It was a great time. Christmas, you got one toy, and you got things that you needed, like clothes. If you needed a sweater, you got sweater or a spare.
Underwear.
You know, but basically, you know, times were tough back then, and I mean, I wasn't poor or homeless or anything, but you know, we got one, you know, we got one present, one toy, and the
Yeah.
rest were stuff that we needed, and
Right, that's...
yeah, and that's the way it was.
But you're Greek, and what, you had the Greek food?
Yeah, well, my mom was Greek, my father was Irish, and my mom would make would have lamb for dinner, and the stuffed grape leaves and the baklava and all the cookies, and my father would rather have corned beef and cabbage,
Yeah.
which he didn't get.
Did you get company?
Yeah, we had, like I said, the whole neighborhood back then is. You didn't have a house party; you had a block party. Everybody,
Yeah.
it was just. It was a
People.
great time. It was a
Yeah.
great time, and then I go over to my father's mother. She lived in Brookline with her sisters, and they owned this huge, big old stucco house in Coolidge Corner. And I used to call it a halfway house for mix, because when anybody could come over from the old country, from Ireland, they stayed there till they got married. And there were so many people, there were so many Coleys, you'd have to use their like two names. It was Coley John, Coley Stephen, and Brendan this, and Megan. It was just a great time back then. It really was.
Okay, how about you, Andrew? You go next.
Oh, well, I had the same type of Christmases, and which you just don't see today, and it's sad. We'd go out and get the tree. Grew up in Hanson, but then all the Italian relatives from North Plymouth would come to Hanson, or would come down there, come down here. We would always do a little bit of. We always did toodlings before that. We would all help my grandmother make, and you could tell who made the kids who made, because they didn't look like a toodling, but they still tasted good. And then we'd have some usually chicken. And all types of vegetables and whatnot. Of course, you'd have all the Italian pastries, but I think the biggest thing was I can remember we used to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and Dad would say, get to bed, stay in bed.
That's right.
And then as we got older, to be like 16, 17, then the parents were coming to wake us up to come home.
Yeah.
But I think back then, even though it was commercialized, it wasn't as commercialized, in my opinion, as it is today. It's really sad. It's who can get the bigger this, the better that. And I did something this year that I've been wanting to do for a while. I actually went to Walmart and paid off somebody's layaway.
Was that you? They had that in the paper.
Say thank you, Karen.
I don't know.
Thank you,
Karen.
No, thank you. No,
I don't know. I was anonymous.
That was on Facebook.
Not anymore.
A
Not
woman-
anymore.
What? Oh, that was on Facebook, Andrew. The woman herself was standing behind the person you paid for, but she didn't know it was you. She didn't know the woman, and she said, this kind gentleman
Oh, wow.
just paid for the woman in front of me. It was a beautiful thing, restored my faith in mankind, and I sent him blessings. It was a wonderful.
Oh my God, I didn't realize that.
And
Oh,
that
Andrew,
was
that's
you,
awesome.
Andrew.
Well, I just
Makes us feel like slabs.
when you have, and you've worked hard, you've gotten to a certain level, and realizing that there's people out there who may not even be able to have a Christmas, that I just thought it was that one thing that I've been wanting to do for years and years, and I kept you'd forget about it. So I finally had it written down, and I went and did it, and I walked out of there feeling that Christmas spirit, which is what it's all about.
Amen.
That is what it's all about. And Andrew, that was wonderful.
Well, I think
Thank you.
just
For you.
something I felt I needed to do.
Wrestling.
I paid Andrew's layaway. Check in the mail.
And he's anonymous.
That's right.
I lend him the money.
What was a Brewster Christmas
Oh,
like?
well, back when I was a kid, my parents would do the family Christmas Eve party, which was like
Oh, yeah.
200-300 people coming in and out of the house. So my mother would always be doing dishes until 2 o'clock in the morning. But Christmas morning, same thing, okay, now. And there was a year where it was I was getting to that age.
Yeah.
And I said to my mom, she always, loves this story. I said, do you think I could believe for one more year? Because I don't want to be down there packing the presents. I want to be, excited on Christmas Day. But, one of the things that, towards what Christmas really means, Linus nailed it in
Oh,
Charlie Brown.
yes. I agree.
And it was interesting because I was reading an article that Linus always had his blanket with him, around him.
Yep.
It was never, and when he said, you have faith in the Lord, he dropped his blanket. And such a telling thing that, we get so busy with the commercialism, and we forget about the family. We forget about the giving. You know, we went through that thing where we weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas, and we weren't allowed. And you talk. Ben Stein came out and said, "I love it when people say Merry Christmas to me." He goes, "I'll say Happy Hanukkah back to them."
Right.
And it's just society has gone so far away from the real meaning of Christmas, and that's, you know, that's sad.
Well, they
Not to bring
secularized
everybody
it
down,
like they
but-
did everything else.
What?
I said they really made, you know, they put the secular part,
Yeah.
and from there though it spread to everything.
Right.
Versus being able to take a holiday and a joyous occasion of, you know, the birth of Christ and the whole, you know, the giving and that really today just seems to be
A secondary.
Yeah.
The birth of Christ. I have this men's group at my church, and we talk about how difficult it is to say, I believe in Jesus Christ, as a male in society today, and how difficult it is to be a Christian who believes, because society is so far.
so anti.
Yes, but you talk about giving. My church does this shoebox thing where they pack shoe boxes and with a whole bunch of different little things that they ship all over the world. And this Christian organization takes these shoe boxes, takes them to countries that have nothing, you know, the really, you know, lower income countries and downtrodden, and gives these kids this box. And it's pretty cool because they have all the kids in the church help pack these boxes, and you're allowed to put a letter in or a picture. And the kids all say, wow, this has gone across the world to somewhere that's some kid's going to get this box that going to start believing in Christmas. That's my 2 cents.
Wonderful. So your church does that,
Yep.
wrestling?
Yep.
That's wonderful. I'm sure a lot of churches do it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, it's the season. Dickie, how about you?
Going back in the wheels of time, my mother's family, the Italian side, all got together when I remember. I don't think we had all our siblings. It was 5 in our family, but at that time it wasn't quite 5. And I remember my grandfather and my mother and my aunts and uncles making Christmas cookies, tortellings, you know, tortillas, and they get a little silly. You know, they start making cookies and writing little things on them, little nicknames for who they were, and it was quite interesting. And that was always a big time. Like I said, we were a family of 5. We lived in Duxbury first, our first house my dad bought. And we weren't a real wealthy family, but we weren't homeless either. We got really the one present, if we could. It was never a guarantee. And my mother always came through. You know, I just don't know how sometimes.
Yeah.
My mom always came through.
Oh,
She did.
yeah.
And of course
of
my
moms.
father helped too, but my mom always had a way about getting it done, and she did it. And that's, you know, when I was younger, I was probably 13, 14, I always worked hard. I used to work for my dad till like 3, 4 in the afternoon. Then I'd walk down Court Street. You could walk on Court Street in those days to Ernie's. And I would do dishes, or I would make pizza. And so I always had 2 incomes, you know. When I left high school in the 10th grade, because my mother wasn't doing well, I bought a brand new car.
Nice.
And everybody thought my dad bought it for me, but I actually bought it with my own money.
What kind of car?
A Cougar XR7.
Oh, man.
And I was mad because it wasn't the right color. It was like an almond red, and I wanted candy apple. My car was like, are you kidding? But, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I remember taking my money, and we had the Kit Kat craft shop, you know, down where the old registry used to be, where the memorial is, across the
Oh,
street.
yeah.
Right? It used to be
Yeah.
Kit Kat Crafts there, the Green
Yes,
Thumb.
I went there.
And I would walk from Nix Rock Road down there, and I would buy the hobnails for my grandmother. And I remember going to the jewelry store and buying my mother a ruby ring, because my mother really didn't have any jewelry. And,
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Wonderful.
so that's what Christmas is.
It
That's
sure
what
is.
Christmas is.
You know, it was the simple things. You know, it was nothing extravagant. It was simple things.
Lincoln Logs.
well,
Lincoln Logs.
my
That was a
family,
genius.
my family, you know, I'm Armenian, and my mother would always have a roast beef for Christmas. I love turkey, but I think my mother was intimidated by the turkey. And we would have people over, and it actually started Christmas Eve. But my mother and father, and especially my grandfather, always kept God in the forefront. And we went to church. I would go to the Armenian church in Boston with my grandfather. Then we'd come home. And the house was just beautiful. My father liked to decorate too. And my mother took a week to decorate the tree. We weren't allowed to touch the tree.
Wow.
You know, but the real tinsel that hung down and gorgeous.
Outlawed.
And my grandfather and father would decorate the 2 huge pine trees in front of the house. Well, the big lights. And these trees went almost up to the roof. And we were on the 2nd floor. And they would do that. And it was just joyous. But we also celebrated Little Christmas, January 6th. So that tree did not come down till well into the 2nd week of January.
Wow.
Oh, that's all right.
And
what's Little Christmas? Is that like an Armenian?
It's Greek,
Greek?
it's
Oh, yeah,
Armenian, it's celebrated by them. But our presents, you're right. We got one thing that we really wanted. It was either a doll or ice skates. The rest was clothes,
Clothing, yeah.
underwear, books for school, to write in, maybe a coloring book. Or the stocking was important because you got all those little.
Yeah, it used to be fun opening the stockings.
Yeah, the stockings were
You get all those
fun.
wind
So it
up
was a
toys.
tangerine.
Yeah,
or a
little-
piece of fruit in there.
Personal things in the stockings,
You
but
got to get the. One of our things is you had to get the little gold candy money.
oh
yeah.
If you didn't, there was one year that we didn't have them, and everybody was like broke, and it was awful.
yes, we got those too. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
There was
Occasional
always the
Pez.
tangerine in the
There's
tub.
always
Yeah,
a
all the
tangerine.
Yep.
Occasional Pez
Yep.
dispenser.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, not until I got older.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
You got the Pez when you were older?
Yeah, because I don't think they had them back
Way
then.
back when.
Yeah, way back when.
Sure they did.
Yeah. Pez has been around for a long
Yeah.
time.
How long?
Long
I
time.
don't know. Can somebody go Google
Yeah.
that and get back to us?
Google and
us
call. Google
at
and call.
508-830.
Jeff Cohen, find out when Pez was.
3971.
397. Well, yeah, Jeff Cohen. Come on.
Yeah, I think he's in Hawaii.
No, he's here.
Oh, he's
I
home?
think he's home for a little bit.
Oh, that was a late posting then.
Yes.
That was an earlier posting.
Hey, it was a remembering.
Remembering. Yeah, he's a good guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a
Yep.
great guy. He's,
Yes,
he's
he
such
is.
a kid.
He's
Oh, he
such
is.
a wonderful guy.
Yeah, he's
He
and he's
gives.
a giver.
He's a giver.
He does so much for
There
so
are
much for
takers and there
Yep.
are givers.
Yep.
And some take to give but take. And I don't like that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, laugh.
No, I'm trying to figure that one out.
I'll tell you later.
All right.
But
She's gonna tell you which one you are later.
no,
Okay.
he's wonderful. He's wonderful.
You know what? I give a ton of stuff, and I don't
Yeah.
say a word about it. Nobody even
No.
knows.
No, you don't. You
No.
don't.
I
And
keep
you
quiet
do.
about it.
You've
If
done
I
so
do it,
much.
I do it.
You've done so much for the town of Plymouth, not only for the town but for the people too. You've done an
Yeah.
awful lot, and
Anything to help people.
people don't realize everything you do.
in your time. Aside from helping out other ways,
Well, I
selectment
think that's fair to
and
say
everything.
about everybody that's here. Steve,
But he-
Wrestling, Mr.
Andrew.
Bukes.
Oh yes. Did
Andrew.
somebody text?
Yeah, people can text me. Oh, this is Jeff Cohn. Put him on speakerphone. I want you to know I have a car on layaway over at Tracy.
Hey Jeff, you're supposed to call. You're supposed to call the number.
What number?
For Talk of the Town.
What number?
You're on live.
You're on live, buddy.
Oh, okay. What number should I call?
830-39.
830.
Text it to me.
Okay.
Technology. It's a
508.
wonderful thing.
he is so adorable. You know,
508-830-3971.
Jeff Cohen, maybe I shouldn't say this, but Don't say
Well,
it.
you talk about
He
people
gives.
like Dickie, and you talk about people.
This one here
Yes,
gives so much.
But you talk
that
about people
it's
like Jeff
crazy.
Cohen who give because they want to, because that's part of their being. And you talk about people that give their time. You know, you talk about Steven. Steven's given a lot of time to the town. And people, you know, there's people who rely on people like Dickie and you to say, you know, hey, wait a minute, I have a question. You know, you're the people who ask that question. You're the people who go out in the dark night and do things. And that's part of Christmas.
Last week I had 4 meetings. And you know, it's natural. You don't grumble about it. You just do it and you go, oh yeah, next week's Christmas. I hope I don't have a meeting, you
Right.
know. And Jeff Cohen
I
just,
think we got a phone call. I wonder who it is.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
Could this be Jeff Cohen?
It's not David Gallerani.
hello.
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 Hello, Jeff.
Jeff.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Jeff.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. How we doing?
How we doing?
Good.
How you doing?
What channel are you guys on? I'll put it on with the volume off. Is it 13?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, 13.
There we go.
13 or 43. Do you have Comcast or Verizon?
There you are. Nice hat.
Sort of looks
You
like
two can wear one of these 6:30 in the morning.
you sort of
on
remind me
Friday.
of Punxsutawney Phil with that hat.
Yeah, we're a different
So what
group.
are you guys up to?
We're talking about Christmas and wonderful things and people like you doing great things for the community.
Yep. It's a lovely town we live in. I love it.
Well, call me, Jeff.
Sound a little facetious.
Jeffrey, what do you do for Christmas?
What do I do for Christmas?
What did you do as a kid?
As a kid, well, I'm Jewish, so I didn't really have Christmas.
That was my great lead-in.
Oh, that's
What'd you do for Hanukkah?
Well, for Hanukkah, my aunt was manager at Child World, so growing up between my parents and my aunt, it was pretty cool.
oh,
Child World, I remember.
You know, it was good, you know, but then, you know, the parents got divorced and everybody went their separate ways. And I had my first Christmas was Mystic, Connecticut when I was about 13 years old. And all right, I'll give you a good story. So being Jewish, I never had a Christmas stocking before, or Christmas at all. So I went to my stepmother's house, and she was always trying to fix me because then, you know, the parents got divorced and everybody went their separate ways. And I had my first Christmas was Mystic, Connecticut when I was about 13 years old. Me a stocking, which was great, and I'm opening it up, and I'm getting like deodorant and toothpaste and all this crazy stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, smiling and saying thank you. And in my mind, I'm going, my God, did I not shower? I'm like, this gross, dirty
We've been meaning to say something.
you're lucky you
had
didn't
no
get
idea
underwear.
that was in the stocking. I had no idea. So I didn't say anything for a day or two, and then I finally said, Dad, did they think I smell? What's going on here, you know? And yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's so funny. Jeff, you're lucky they didn't put underwear in there. You would have really
Yeah,
had a
I wonder.
meltdown.
I would have ran right to the bathroom.
Oh, I'm so happy you called, Jeff. What's going on with you?
Oh, you know, I'm just relaxing. My girlfriend's in the hot tub relaxing out there. Just a long day at work, and you know, nothing crazy. Just we're really busy at work, and you know,
30 years, 30 plus years.
Good. By the way, your girlfriend's very pretty.
oh, thank you. She's a sweetheart. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good for you, Jeff. I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah, she's a keeper. I've known her forever, but you know, we never really paid attention like that. So yeah, it worked out really good.
It was meant. Well, Merry Christmas, Jeffrey.
Well, Merry Christmas to you guys too. And I hear there's going to be a cannon firing this Friday morning. Is it Friday morning? What's that cannon going off?
Friday morning, 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Paul Miller's
Where?
trying to get us all to come
Top of Coles Hill.
yeah. Hey, you never know.
Have 2 cups of Dunkin' Donuts. You can make it.
And dress warm.
If I get to fire the cannon, I'd be more inclined.
Well, I might happen.
Can we set up targets and like?
No. Hence the reason you might not do the cannon.
That's
Unless there's DCR staff down
Yeah,
at
that's
Dakota
right.
Memorial Park, then we might double
Andrew.
think of. Oh, what? Wait, whoa, sorry. Just kidding.
If I was to join the club, we'd have to get a bigger cannon.
We have a bigger cannon.
We need to reach other towns with it.
No, we have. You wait until you see this cannon.
Is it a big cannon?
It's a big cannon.
I can hear it from my house.
Yeah,
Can you really?
yeah, yeah. We fire it right off of Coles Hill. It goes out off the ocean and
Yeah, it comes
reverberates through
back.
town.
I don't know if Cedarville can hear it, but I sure can.
Maybe I'll pop over to your house and check it out.
Oh,
should.
good.
Maybe you
Come
should move
for
it around,
coffee.
give it a couple of shots.
We get 3 shots. Past, present, and future.
There you go.
One midtown.
Yeah.
One
Yeah, there you go.
south.
Now, that was a former member did that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I haven't been on there in a long time.
Well, thank you, Jeff.
Not a problem. Listen, you guys have. If I don't talk to you, have a great Christmas. You never know. Maybe I'll pop down there and check out the cannon. And you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Merry Christmas.
Get back to the hot tub.
Yeah. Bye, Jeff.
Happy Hanukkah.
Bye.
Bye.
That
was great
That was
wrestling.
hysterical. It won't come out of my mouth.
What?
He's Jewish. You go.
I know.
Oh,
Gave a nice story, didn't he?
yeah. Dickie, what are you doing for?
Just relaxing. My mom's here from Tennessee. She's up for the season.
Good.
She's going back home, I think, January 10th.
Oh,
So she got a little
too
cold.
early.
Well, you know she's here.
oh yeah.
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 But she got a little cold, but she's getting around.
Good.
You don't keep her down.
How old is she? Do you want to say?
Oh, Ma. I know you're watching. I think 80.
God love her.
But
God love
Ring,
her.
ring, ring, ring.
Yes, just
Vicky's
call
phone
508.
Vicky's got to
it
go.
might be 79. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, but she's here, and she's at my
Generation.
sister's, so
Nice.
she's staying
Good.
up here.
Nice.
Good.
What a generation. That was
Yeah.
You're just like her.
It was different, you know.
sure was.
Oh,
That
we
generation
had all
was
the, like the
amazing.
homemade pies, and
Yep.
now we have it at my niece's house. My both parents have passed, but my nephew recently bought my parents' house, so he's going through renovations. So hopefully next Christmas we'll actually have Christmas at the house that we all grew up
Oh,
in.
I love that.
So,
nice.
but my niece does a great job. She loves having everybody over, and everybody does their special thing and dessert or whatever. And but it's still a wonderful thing. But once the parents go, that void just never is filled.
It's up to you children to keep that together.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. You can't let that go.
Yeah. So we'll usually have like a place for them,
Oh.
because
jeez.
they'll
Break my heart, won't
know.
you?
and like, Papa, go sit over there. Well, you just
Yeah.
here's your eggnog with your bourbon, and it just you behave yourself. And of course I'll drink that because it just sit there.
Well, I have an open house, and you're all welcome to come, drop by if you want to, and you'd be welcome. And I know you're busy with your families, but that invitation is open.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very nice.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So,
We're lucky. We go to my friend's house. He's old Italian, from an old Italian family. And he starts cooking about 2 or 3 days before the Christmas. And he makes his own pasta, his meatballs, he
Oh,
makes his own
God
sausages.
love 'em.
It's just, it's just unbelievable. My wife makes desserts and brings desserts, and his son works for a wine distributor, but it's very pricey wines, I guess. It's not, so you always bring some good wine, and it's a good time.
talking about wine, I went to Pioppi's. Kenny and I went to Pioppi's the other day. And I discovered a few months back, wine that is bourbon based or whiskey based. And I got a bottle at Pioppi's. And delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Have you had the Kentucky Bourbon Ale?
No, I don't drink beer.
It's aged in a bourbon cask, so it's more bourbony than beer, but it's really good.
Yeah, we just got a beautiful bottle, 1960 bottle of bourbon.
Wow.
My brother-in-law, his family, bought it, and he's got about 10 of them
Wow.
left, and they gave us one. We had a little, little pony, because you can't drink too much of that.
A little
Well, at least-
chiquette.
Yeah,
Italian
chiquette,
chiquette.
More than the
yeah,
two finger.
How do you know?
yeah,
When we were little kids, my grandmother would give us a little chiquette
Yeah.
of wine. My grandfather used to have the big bottle, the big
yeah,
glass with
and
the,
pour
with
like
the
this.
glass ring through it, and he'd pour it over his shoulder
Yeah.
all the time. And a couple full, 8, 10-ounce glasses. And we always wondered why Grandpa was taking a nap in the afternoon. Well, we found out later on that,
Yeah,
loved his wine.
yeah.
Yep.
But there's nothing like that. Well, you got to try it. Go to Pioppi's and get that. Delicious.
Well, it's amazing when you walk in and you go to, look to find a bottle of vodka. And there's like 147 different types of vodka.
Rum, vodka,
Yeah.
whiskey, doesn't matter. They've got it.
Yep.
And now you're seeing with the bourbons and stuff is
Yeah.
that because the bourbon, quote unquote, the typical bourbon drinker, they're all getting old and dying off. So now you've got, the bourbon with the cinnamon or the bourbon with the honey, because they're really going after, and they've actually, you can see it, the growth of females now
Oh, yeah.
drinking bourbon, but flavored
Yes.
bourbons. It's amazing.
Well, there's a whiskey bar in Boston. Not that I've gone, but we drive by.
Or got dragged out of.
No,
You just drive by it. We never go in. We never go in.
I don't drink like I used to anyway. But there's this whiskey bar, and it's filled with women
Oh,
smoking cigars.
what address is that? Let me write that down.
It's right around the north
You
end.
busy next week?
Oh, Haymarket.
Uber up and Uber home.
Yeah, it's
Haymarket.
it's a famous.
Get a big Uber in case you have somebody
It's
with.
on the corner. It goes around the corner, as a matter of fact, just before Haymarket. You're heading toward the north end, but you take a right.
So it's right before Faneuil Hall.
Faneuil
I
Hall.
think I've been there.
And it's always
cigar.
filled
Thrown out of
with
there?
women smoking cigars and drinking whiskey.
Wow.
Road trip.
Sounds like the old car.
Road trip.
The Haymarket,
Except for them women.
the Haymarket Square.
they
I remember was when we were kids. My dad used to take us to Haymarket Square, and he used
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
all the time.
the push carts and all the different vendors
That's
for
where
the
they
meats
bought
and
it.
stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, we'd follow him, and he'd fill the bags, and we'd carry the bags.
Yep.
And it was things were different. Like we keep on saying, things were different. It's just
It was slower,
yeah,
and I yearn for
Yeah.
that.
it just
Well, those were the days where you could, actually go and sit on the, on the front step of a neighbor's and sit there and talk for,
And we
Yep.
did.
30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours.
Yep.
And now people,
without this,
without that,
Oh.
no Facebook.
and people today are so busy they don't even beep the horn going by their
Oh.
neighbors.
Yep,
It's just amazing.
it is.
Do you think Facebook's helped your business?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. Yep, it's quite phenomenal. But
Moral decay in
kids,
society.
for children, one of the founders of Facebook, you heard that, right? Said it's very bad for children.
There's actually
Very
a
bad.
great article by Psychiatry Today. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
This is the new addiction. Because you take this away from a child,
they don't know what to do.
they don't know what to do. They get angry. They're completely flustered. Just like if you were to take, a cigarette or a drug away from them. And they're saying that this is the new,
Crack.
Yeah, it is.
It's not just children, though.
No.
Oh no.
That's why
it's-
people are getting whacked
Yeah.
left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, we never heard of all these
Whacked.
people getting hit. Well,
That's a North Plymouth
Yeah.
term.
That's what. Yeah.
Look at all, look at
North
all the
Hills.
accidents.
Run over?
You're looking at your phone and
Yeah.
you're walking out
Oh,
into traffic.
yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
showed
In
videos of
Boston.
people going through a
Yeah.
mall,
Yes.
looking at this and falling into the fountain.
Yeah.
There was also another. It was one of the other founders of Facebook just recently came out,
Yes.
said his children are
Right.
not allowed on there,
Not
but he
allowed.
also said it's really destroying the social
Families.
fabric
Yeah.
because what people do now to get what's the word I'm looking for, to get that that feeling of I belong
That
and
high.
that
Or a rush.
people appreciate me
Yeah.
is now you've got to post something on Facebook, and
Like.
look at the feedback
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
give you as validation. That's the word
Yeah,
I was
and-
looking for, to validate
And
themselves.
your cousin Chief Bocherry has an entire team that looks into online bullying.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just incredible how, you know, it's, for me, it's the moral decay of society. I
It
use
is.
it, but
is.
it's just, when's the last time anybody wrote a letter, read a book?
Me. I mean, we're different.
But that's
we're
us.
different.
But I
That's
did hear last night on television that the paperback books and stuff, they're coming back
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And records.
Yeah, oh, yeah, records.
Are
Records. Yeah, I was watching the show last night. It was on.
Yeah.
Well, I just went down to Tim Downey's at Mars
Oh,
Records,
yeah.
and because I've got the old wooden cranberry boxes. I've got 2 boxes, and I padded them. I've had these things for some cases, 40 years. Some of these albums, and I brought a bunch down there, and he'll buy because that's where he gets most of his
Should've
business.
told me,
is
my
people
son loves those.
selling albums, and but I went to Borders up in Hingham. And they have albums in the back, vinyl, as the kids call it. Kids are like, "Hey, Uncle, there's this new that's called vinyl." I'm like,
New thing.
"Yeah."
Downstairs at M&M's.
They get $20 to
That's right.
$30
Yeah.
plus
Yeah,
for a vinyl record.
yeah,
Yep.
Where
yeah.
I mean, I still have my Beatles and
I was
some
gonna say, I was going to ask you that.
yeah, Beatles.
Used
Yes.
to go down to downstairs at M&M's. That's where you got your vinyl when I was a
We
kid.
used to go to the Hanover Mall.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
mall. That was
Zare.
the mall.
Zares.
Zares.
Oh,
Theirs.
Zay's
Yeah.
was a pit.
Yeah.
But M&M's was
Richards.
wonderful.
But that was, again, you see how all these things that sort of felt, because remember, like, you'd go to buy an album, and all of a sudden you went to buy an album, and then there were these cassette things.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then,
8-tracks.
Then there was the
8
8
tracks before the cassettes.
and then decades later there was like nothing because everything was downloadable.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's gone
Which
back.
the
now to
artist
vinyls.
hates because they can't make as much money.
No.
When you go and you like one song off an album, they buy it for $1.99
Yep.
instead of
Or
$9.
actually
Yeah.
99 cents to
Yeah.
$1.29.
Yeah.
So we're taking my daughter to the airport, and she lives in California. She was here for a visit, and we got on the subject of Christmas. Now, this is our oldest daughter, Diane, and she has a fabulous, unbelievable job, and she travels, and and she works hard. So we're taking her back, and we get on the subject of Christmas, and she said, I used to have a very favorite record. She said, and my record box, those little she said, and I played Frosty the Snowman, and it disappeared. And I'm going, now, mind you, Diane's 50 odd, okay? And I said, really? She said, yes. She said, I played it every day, summer, spring, winter, and every day. So I'm figuring in my mind, I must have thrown it away. I couldn't take it anymore, right? So what do? We go to the mall. We go to that comics, Newberry.
Newbury Comics, not in the back.
Not thinking we'd ever find it, okay? We're going through, and we find it. This little thing, but it's a CD, right, Kenny? Yeah. Right. Here it is! Oh my God! We send it to her. She cried for a week. And she plays it in the car every night coming home from
awesome.
work to get her in a good mood.
That's fancy. That's what
We
it's
should all
about.
get that song.
Yeah, Frosty.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, so, I mean, and I'm saying, it meant a lot to her. And here is a mother running around, hurting 4 children, and, trying to take care of them, and being driven crazy by one Christmas song, and I must have thrown it away.
Now, what's your favorite Christmas song?
But it's not really a Christmas song, not a holy song, I'll tell you that one. But my favorite Christmas song is I'll Be Home for Christmas. I always get weepy on that. I don't know why. But my favorite one is Oh Holy Night.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's yours, Dickie?
I like them all.
You like them all? Yeah.
I'd probably say the same, but I think my favorite would be What Child Is This?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Drummer Boy.
Drummer Boy, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
I like all the traditional ones, you know.
Yeah.
You know, the old.
You get the CDs or the vinyl with the churches that have the, you know, the full orchestra playing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and how about our Philharmonic?
That first time that I've been to the Pops.
Oh, really?
Holiday Pops. Because the last couple of years I've been wanting to go, but then by the time I get around to it, tickets are sold out.
Yeah.
And I actually had coffee with Steven Maestro a few days
He hates
after
that, by
that,
the way.
and it was just phenomenal.
It is phenomenal.
And
pretty
he
awesome.
was saying that even other artists that have come in who play at different other
Hello?
places.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, there he is.
Hey!
There's a telephone, amigo.
It's about time. Jeff Cohen beat you.
I had a bunch of questions here.
Uh-oh.
The first one was, the most important thing with the album cover was what?
Well, if it was Cheech and Chong's Big Bamboo, it was the big rolling paper in the middle.
Right. Actually, what it was the thing you put the dope on and you banged it up so that the sheet would fall.
What?
Little plastic thing.
Oh,
All right?
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying, because my cousin could be
put that
watching.
on a CD cover, for God's sake, right?
Right.
You put the part on the album cover and you bang it and you tip it a little bit.
Yep.
And all those seeds
Just
fall
gotta
out,
tap it.
And now you got a nice clean thing to roll. Okay.
Separated the seeds. I read that in a book once.
Is that what your company does at lunchtime? I thought you were eating lunch.
That's why they're so hungry at lunchtime.
Is it in the brownies?
It's all coming around full circle. It's going to be pretty legal pretty soon.
Yep.
All right. So I'm glad that Andrew called the Toodlings, not tortellinis or some of that baloney. They're Toodlings.
Twiddlings.
And bologna.
And the next question I had
From Bologna.
has anybody there had tuna on Christmas Eve?
No.
You know what tuna is?
No.
So tuna was, I guess probably we were poor back in the day, so they had the 7 fishes, and my grandmother would make spaghetti sauce with tuna.
Oh,
With a
my mother did
little
that
bit
too, yeah.
Of tomato sauce and with some tuna. It had to be the Genoa tuna, though, with
Oh,
olive oil in
the
it.
oil.
It was nice
Yep.
and greasy.
Yeah.
And she'd cook it up, and we'd have spaghetti with it, and we thought that was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Right?
Have you made that, David?
We had it a couple of years ago. My cousin Ivo Alberti and his wife Joni, they used to come all the time on Christmas Eve, and she made it because her family used to make it. So we weren't the only poor Italians around making that stuff.
We did
Hey.
that. We would do that on Good Friday
See
Yeah.
that?
because you
See?
couldn't eat
All
meat,
right.
Right.
which
All right. And
found
then
out
the
it
other
was a
thing
whole
I was going to tell you was that
fallacy,
we used
but-
to say the rosary on Christmas Eve at my grandmother's before we could eat.
Oh,
Oh, awesome.
that's wonderful.
And I
That
don't
is
know.
wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that, but we don't do that anymore either.
Bring it back.
Anyways, so everybody have a nice, happy holiday season.
No, you can say Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Merry
Dave.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And make sure you go down and see how that light works down at the end of South Street. I'm waiting to find out if it works as good as the one next to me.
How much do we pay for that?
Over $1 million.
Yeah.
They must be right, because they're always right.
Well, you know, David, Kenny said the same thing yesterday. We're in the
Yeah.
car.
I'm kind of waiting to see what happens over there.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
going to be a traffic jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't need the lady out there with the funny gloves stopping traffic. in front of,
The Mickey Mouse hand.
school
Yeah.
anymore, the Mickey Mouse thing, because the traffic will be backed up for 3 miles per
Oh,
hour.
yeah. And then a fire truck will come out of the firehouse.
I know. Oh my God! But
What a great idea. What town meeting approved that?
You know, the waterfront looks beautiful, and I wish they had passed the promenade, but hey, it is what it is. I'm glad my taxes aren't going up any more than they've already gone up.
Hey,
Yes, they are.
We'll talk.
Yeah, about what? About the taxes going up?
Yep.
Yeah. Well.
And what's coming down the road?
Oh yeah. Well, it is coming down the road. I watched the selectmen's meeting last night,
Oh.
and it's kind of
Do the math?
yeah, it's not good.
No.
Not good.
it's not good, and I don't know what to do. I keep paying more taxes all the time.
Yep, everybody, and especially you people, you business people, right, Dickie?
Yeah.
But I
We're
think
going to ask
your-
more questions at town meeting.
David, I think your taxes went up 56,000.
It very possibly. It went up quite a bit.
Yep.
I noticed that one selectman wanted a split rate, and I also noticed that the Chamber of Commerce was not represented at that meeting last night, which was not good policy. I think they missed the vote on that, but I did call somebody today.
Wow.
Good for you.
When
Well,
Hank was
David,
there, he used
you
to always
have a
go to that
promise. A lot of town meeting members now are going to ask more questions and are going to speak up.
About the
Because
budget.
It's getting very dangerous. And
meeting. It is.
And I don't see too much leadership except for one person on that board. And I think Melissa needs more support in regards to that. I'm not sure I'm going to be sitting down with her. But we have to
agree.
do something.
It's tough. It's tough for her.
Yeah.
Because you're right, she doesn't get a lot of support, and it's tough with school budget because it's an up and down budget. And I said to my wife is a retired teacher, and I said to my wife, I said, they never say, we really don't know anything about how many teachers they need or how many teachers are there.
We can ask.
You can ask, but that's about it. But in the end, all you can do is get up and say, I make a motion, we drop half a $1,000,000 from the budget, and then everybody looks at you and says, "But it's for the children."
The children.
Yeah.
And then you're
Well, you know what, David? If you watched that last night, and it might be off 1 or 2%, but when I saw the pie chart, I think it was 87% of the school budget went for salaries. So, I'm done hearing people say
Cup
it's
of
about
coffee.
educating the children.
Yeah.
It's a cup of
Because if
coffee.
you look at that number,
Unbelievable.
it's a lot different. And I won't get started on it, but kids paying to ride the bus, kids paying to play
hockey.
sports. I mean, when fuel was high and the economy was bad, I could see it. But things change. If the community can afford a $3 million playing field, then they can afford to give their kids, let them park for free at their own high school. We pay for that high school.
And what happened to all the money they got from the solar fields? They're saving all this money. I've never seen it come back.
When I was on the board,
General
one year
fund.
they saved $2 million for $2 million plus. I asked the question 4 times. Where's the $2 million?
That's right. You'll never,
Never
get
got
an
an
answer.
answer.
You never will.
And the town meeting members have to pay attention of if they have the solar field. Oh, they saved $2 million. Well, that's great. Let's put $1 million. Let's roll it right back into more stuff.
Right.
But the town doesn't do that.
No, that's what we need to do as town
Exactly.
meeting. We need to stand up and say, all right, we can't touch that budget, but we want to know what it is, line item by line item. If it
Right.
takes us 3 days, it takes us 3
Is
days.
David still on?
They won't let you do the line items.
No, they won't, David.
Well, you can ask questions about specific things.
Well, you know what? You have a little subcommittee go to the
change it.
school committee meeting and go over the budget with them there right on television. You can do that, right?
Yep.
That you probably can do. You're right.
There you go.
Or you could make a motion to reduce the budget from whatever it is by $3 million, and that can be voted on.
I mean, and then you hear, well, the band's playing out on the grass at town hall. I've been through all these things before.
Oh, yeah.
And it would never be to hurt a child or a child's education. That's not where I'm from.
No,
But, enough. They have to say no sometime.
that's
Yeah.
right.
They got to start saying no to them too, not just the town side.
No, well, that's what I feel bad. They beat the hell out of the DPW.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like they go, oh, do you really need that chainsaw? And it's like, well, yeah, when a tree comes down in the middle of the road, we kind of need a chainsaw that works. And they go, well, it's $250. You couldn't find one at Lowe's for $150. I mean, really? I mean, they nickel and dime the DPW to death.
And the
Right.
police department and the fire department.
Yep.
They no one touches the school department.
And if you look at the fire chief, he's going by the matrix report. I think it's from 2006. I was sitting there because we
Right.
authorized that. I still
Right.
have that report.
Yep.
You were shot, the firefighters, when the Pine Hills opened,
Yep.
which I understand, bad budget times. It's nothing to do with the fire station is either, by the way. But the idea is the town's never stepped up and done it. Do you know there were some times in this town where we had no ladder truck in service?
Right.
I heard that one day, and I remember.
Yeah.
I called Mike Sylvia right out of a meeting. I said, let's get this fixed right now. This
Yep.
is crazy, relying
Yeah,
on
they were
Kingston.
short personnel, right.
You know what I mean? So the personnel, you're never going to fix the problem unless, we got to step up and take care of
Hey,
those things.
David, I'm going to send you an email that I sent out today to Melissa Kentavaris, and you'll read it, and I'm going to send it to Dickie too.
Okay.
I want you to read it, and I want you to get back to me what
All
you
right, make
think.
sure you send it to Dave at Cape Auto Repairs.
Oh, I don't have that one.
Yeah, send it to
Yes, you
Dave
do.
at
Ken's got it.
CapeAutoRepairs.com.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but
All right, I'll let
it's
you
time
guys
for town
go.
meeting
Finish
to
your,
take the bull by the horns and say,
Thank you, David. Merry
All right,
Christmas.
Yes, Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
David.
Merry
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas.
Dave.
and
Buona
Happy New Year.
Natale.
Buona Natale.
Feliz
Italian
Anno
or another.
Nuovo.
Party Luis.
Are we supposed to
Well, I
say
think
Feliz Navidad with the three amigos? We
that's
missed
right.
that one.
Oh,
What the hell happened to
Feliz
that?
Navidad.
you brought the guitar, Andrew.
There's four
Yeah, you should have
amigos.
read that tonight. I would have sang.
All right, well, come on. We'll just pretend.
It's only an hour show.
Well, like we were talking about, like with the school committee, I guess if there's light shed on it, maybe then things will get
Oh, David,
more,
you still
more
Right, I
there?
mean,
awareness.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need
Just
town
shine light
meeting
on it.
members have to ask the
Cockroaches
question.
run when the light comes in.
I remember when I was first a town meeting member, somebody asked the chief, how much does it cost to run a truck? And he said, well, I don't have those numbers. And I'm looking and I'm like, then we're not voting on your budget until you get us those numbers. We need to stand up and say, we're not voting unless you get us these numbers. You can't bring something to us at the 0 hour, and you got to have your numbers. If you don't, we're not voting on it. And then they come and say, well, then, we'll be without a budget or without the union will have this or somebody won't have this until spring town meeting. Well, sorry.
Well, sometimes you got to do without, like we
Right.
do in our own home.
Right,
dumps.
exactly.
Why aren't you and Karen and have mentioned about people aren't we need to ask better questions. Why haven't people been asking better questions?
Because they want to get it done in a day.
Well, I think no.
I think it's changing now.
No, now you got to stop
Not
saying
all.
that.
Not all.
It's not that. There are many that would stay.
Yes.
Many. Oh no, you made me forget what I was going to say.
Why people don't ask questions?
Okay. Sometimes when some people get up, they're angry, and that's got to stop. And that's
That's true.
coming
true.
out of maybe 2 members out of a certain precinct.
Yep.
That's got to stop because you're not doing town meeting any favors. You're not doing the public any favors, you think, by raising your voice or saying mean things. It's not going to happen. But if a town meeting member gets up and is gentlemanly and gets their point across, you can get a lot done.
Yes, you can.
And you can appeal to other town meeting members in a good way.
Yep, I've seen it
They're
happen.
intelligent. They are very smart. And we've got a lot of very intelligent people in town meeting. And we have to do it. Instead of just talking about it, I've started this past year doing it, but now I'm going to be public about it. And I don't want to hurt anybody. That's not my mission. My mission is for people to take leadership roles.
If you look at the last town meeting, the special town meeting, public opinion was brought in to town meeting
Yep.
for the first time ever. I've got more calls on that issue than any other
Me
issue.
too.
Because they brought it as a special town meeting, so they gave the public time to sit there and go, 16 million? Are you kidding
Well,
me?
they raise their heads because when a special town meeting is called, people go, what? Why?
Right. How much does it cost?
Yeah.
And it was that's what we need more involvement in is okay, public opinion. Okay. I had to vote a certain way on one of those warrants because my constituents said, do not raise my taxes.
I got over 60 communique,
Yeah.
whether it was phone, email.
Yeah.
I couldn't go shopping. I couldn't go to the store. And it was all one yes,
Yep.
all the rest were no.
I got 3 yeses and probably 20 no's.
Yeah.
And it was all don't raise my taxes.
Please
And
don't
that's what I
raise
said-
my
That's what I said on
taxes.
town meeting floor.
Yeah.
Get the hint.
Because they know the sewer's coming.
Oh, yeah.
The power
plant.
plant's backing out.
Yep.
We have a new fire station coming on
We're
to
still
be
paying for
built.
the first high school.
And the high schools.
Sometimes.
Nothing a fox or two couldn't cure either.
That's right.
So how much money, now, and JB, who I admire very much, is going to be coming back to town meeting
Yep.
and asking for, I believe, 8-9 million
Yep. For infrastructure.
for infrastructure, which has to be done because
Yep.
the state is saying, you don't do it, we're going to fine you.
Yep.
So all this is coming, and taxes went up this time over $200.
Yep. Yep. Hey, before we leave, I'd just like to mention that Friday at 6:30 a.m. It's Forefathers Day.
Cold and dark.
If you don't know what Forefathers Day, shame on you. It's the day that the Pilgrims landed in Plymouth.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention how important it is. I'm a member of the Old Colony Club, which is the oldest club in America, that for almost 175 years we've been getting up at 6:30 on Forefathers Day. It's the only charter that we have, and blowing our cannon off. So please be there. And it's just
blow his
important that we
cannon off.
remember Forefathers Day.
Jeez.
Is that when the hedgehog comes out? No, that's
No, different guys,
No.
Pennsylvania.
different hats. We're going up
Okay.
one year.
AM.
AM. AM.
I'm going to actually try to make it.
Okay, I hope you do.
How long you been doing that?
In 2019, it'll be 175 years.
Well, you have to do
He's
it.
only missed a couple.
Yeah. Boy, my arm's tired.
Ba-boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an important club to me, and it's a gentleman's club, a club of gentlemen that have a lot of history. You know, I get stopped at the parade saying, "Oh, aren't you just a bunch of men?"
No.
And I'm like, there's so much more to this club.
Yeah.
There's history. If you come into the president's room that has a picture of every president, there's some pretty prominent people in there that, you know, started this club. And they started it because
Good selection of bourbon, too.
that's right.
Cigars
But they started the
and
club
bourbon.
because they didn't want to be involved in the rabble-rousing that was going on in the town. They wanted a place that they could get together, you know, have some drinks, smoke some cigars, and talk and be gentlemen. So
And they are. You know, I've gone when allowed and sat on the porch and
they walk
had
you
a
inside?
cigar. Had a cigar.
They wouldn't let you inside?
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
went.
okay.
I went. But
on certain days.
On certain days.
Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely club, and they do a lot for the community. No, you don't.
No.
No.
Peter Gomes was one of our most famous members.
Yeah.
And Peter said, it's a club that does nothing and does it really, really well.
Well.
So like the Three Amigos.
Yes,
It's a
exactly.
show about nothing.
Oh,
Except for the
so,
Seinfeld episode.
Except we don't have a cannon.
so you're not like the Lions, who does everything
No.
for the community.
Right.
You do nothing.
Right, except for Forefathers Day.
AM.
In the morning.
Oh,
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas,
Merry
everybody!
Christmas.
Happy New
Happy New
Year!
Year.
The
Merry
New
Christmas,
Year.
everybody.
The Amigos, we're up there. Look
Yeah.
Ah,
at
there's
that.
the Amigos. Here we are. Hey.
We've been talking for half an hour and that's been rolling.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you in the new
Cape
year.
Auto. Yay, yay.
Blessed New Year. And pay attention.
Merry Christmas. Buon Natale.
Happy
Buon
New
Natale.
Year.
Feliz Navidad. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. And,
That's right.
and pay attention to what's going on in town. See you next year. Many blessings.
Peace out.
We did more.
Testes.